What's up, people? It's your boy Porter Rock 77 here live on the air. Coming back at you, doing a quick live video. Let me make sure I do a sound check, make sure the voice is good. Twitter's been acting kind of funny for me. I just want to make sure on the air. Yep. Sounds good. I hear myself. Okay. So what's going on, man? Hey, what's up? Who's next? What's going on, man? Thanks for showing up to the chat. This is a live video, so I'll be looking in and out of the chat. If you guys have questions or anything like that, please, by all means, post them up and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. But I want to talk about a couple of things that have been going on the last 2 days. It's kind of ironic. So I had a video that was scheduled and it got uploaded onto on my channel, and it was an indie game from a developer called Harsh Marquee, and it was pretty much why Next Machina wasn't coming to Xbox. And the developer had an interview and pretty much said that it's all about business, it's all about the market share. So they were only able to develop for 2 platforms, so they chose a PC, right? Because their software works on PC. What's up, Garuda? What's up, Robert? Anyway, so House Marquee software works on PC, and they chose the PlayStation platform, obviously, because of the market, right? And they did say that, Xbox coming out with the Scorpio is a kick-ass system, their words, but the market wasn't viable for them to support it at this point in time, right? So it's all about, what developers can get out of the market. And lo and behold, this thing shows up with Lawbreakers, right? Where it's a PC game coming to consoles, but the only console that's going to get it, at least first, at a minimum, is the PlayStation console. And it's not coming out Xbox, right? And what makes this even more interesting is the fact that, the game's developed by Cliffy B, who was a creator of one of Xbox's best franchises, one of their top. I'm going to say use the word best. I'll say one of their top franchises, which is Gears of War. So Cliffy B has a close relationship with Xbox. So of course, some people got ahead of the game. Some people already making the videos. YouTube channels, they're striking while the iron's hot, trying to get those views. I held back a day or two. All right. I could have made a video yesterday talking about it, but I want to do something different for all you guys listening. Because you know what I'm about? I'm about, me helping providing information, providing a perspective that everybody else doesn't provide. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's pretty much, if you look at all the channels that talked about this, they're repeating the same thing. Why isn't this coming to Xbox? Or they're using the fanboy argument saying Cliffy B's an asshole, or the pro channels are saying because Xbox sucks. Everybody's using the same old narrative, right? But on this channel, what I did was I stepped back a little bit. I looked at the videos from various channels, from pro Sony channels, pro Xbox channels, and those in between, and listened to what they're saying. And here's the thing they're not telling you, right? And this is the truth. Third party doesn't give a shit about first party consoles. I think it's time that people realize that. All right. And the reason why they don't give a shit about the first party consoles is because it's not their console. They genuinely don't have anything invested in somebody else's product other than what they can get out of the product. Does that make sense? For example, let's say, like in this case with Cliffy B, all right? It's not about Xbox or PlayStation 4. It's about him making money. All he gives a crap about is him and his company and his game. That's it. That's all that matters. And he's going to put the game that's in the best position for him to make the most money based on the manpower and the money he has to make the game. Now apparently he doesn't have the manpower and the money to do dual console development, meaning make a game for PlayStation and Xbox. All right. So he chose PlayStation. Not because he's a PlayStation fan. He might say so, or he might say it's a great console. I mean, these guys will always say things that are nice about the console, but these guys will flip-flop back and forth, not because they're fanboys or haters. It's because it's all about business. All right. The PlayStation brand is the most dominant, popular brand this gen. Now, I'm not saying that you should agree with me in thinking that it's the best brand for you. It may not be the best brand. You may prefer the Switch. You may prefer the Wii U. You may prefer the Xbox One. You may prefer PC. Whatever's your gaming. You might prefer phone games. Whatever's your gaming choice of gaming, whatever is your preferred platform for fun, there's nothing wrong with the choice you're making. Enjoy what you enjoy. Just as long as you pick up a controller or pick up something to play a game, then that's it. You're gaming, right? But this is about developers and publishers making money, right? And they're choosing the best strategy for themselves to make money. All right. Now, there is what I like to call second and third order effects, meaning somebody makes a decision and there's consequences or there's other things that happen. You know what I'm saying? Um, that comes from with that decision. So Cliffy B making the decision to put Lawbreakers on PlayStation, not on Xbox, he did that for his own personal reason. It's not because he's a fanboy or he's into the console war. It was the best decision that he feels for his company, for him as a developer, based on his team and where he thinks he's going to make the most money. The second and third order effects after that decision, which he probably never intended, or maybe he did intend and doesn't care, is the fact that this adds to the narrative that games are coming to PlayStation and not on Xbox. But that's not something he's concerned about. He's not concerned if Xbox is not getting games. It's not his console. He never created it. He's not responsible for that. You know what I'm saying? That's not his problem. Not that he wants Xbox to fail. He's only concerned about his company succeeding. And he's going to go with the platform that he feels, in his opinion, that's going to do that. You know, and these channels ain't doing that. Every channel's trying to do the fanboy again. Everybody's trying to say it's Phil's fault, or it's this fault, or it's media bias. It ain't none of that. These developers are choosing the decision for their game to make money for their company, for their publisher, for their developers. That's it. That's all it is. If the situation was reversed, he would have put the game on Xbox and not on PlayStation. Let's say if this was last gen, he would put the game on Xbox 360 and not on PS3, simply because at the time, that would have been the best decision for him. You understand what I'm saying? That's just the reality, okay? The second and third order effects from this decision is, again, the narrative of Xbox not getting the game support that PlayStation 4 is. Now, here's the thing people got to understand. Everybody's going to look back and they use, well, 3 years ago, it wasn't about games. It was about power. And to some extent, I kind of agree. I'm not saying that you guys, I'm not going to be a fanboy and say that power wasn't a big argument, you know, in the first two years or so. I'm not saying that. All right. I'm not going to say that. It is true. Power did have a significant impact on PlayStation's success. And Sony took advantage of that. That's where Yoshida says 1080p makes you a better gamer and stuff like that. You know? So I'm not going to deny that. I'm not a denial. I'm not trying to be a revisionist or anything of history. But there was other factors that nobody wants to consider. Why is nobody else saying PlayStation was also the cheapest console when it launched? You guys don't want to say that, though. As if somebody wants to pay $500 for a weaker console. Nobody wants to do that. You know what I'm saying? But nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk at the fact that Microsoft had a shit revealing. And they had a shit message. They fucked up. Excuse my language, but, you know, apologize for cursing because I don't know who's listening. But the truth is, they had a crappy unveiling. It was crap. The way they launched the Xbox One was disgusting. It was abysmal. It's the truth. Call a spade a spade. They were selling you a product that had real no value to the masses. Sure, a few people might enjoy sitting down and say Xbox on 3-4 times before the console turned on and maybe record a video here and there. But there was hardly any games that supported the Kinect camera. And it was $500. You know? So for $500, what was Microsoft offering you? You know? They were offering you Rise. Now, I'm not saying Rise is a bad game, but it isn't a game that would make you want to buy a product that costs $500. You know, and Sunset Overdrive, you know, looks like a good game. You know, I can't wait to play myself. But that's only because when I plan to buy my Xbox, I'm hoping I could get it for $200. I would certainly not be playing Sunset Overdrive and Rise and Halo Remaster and Gears Remake, or the Halo Master Chief Collection or Gears Remake for $500. Those games to me are not worth $500. Now, for the masses, if they were to launch with Halo 5 day one, Gears of War a couple of months later, Titanfall would be exclusive to the Xbox One and not on PC and 360, just strictly Xbox One. And then the sequel, strictly Xbox One. Then you might build a portfolio that's worth a $500 console. Now, who's next says PR stop? For real, Xbox had the best game launch. Cool, best game launch. But not a $500 game launch. I'm sorry, who's next? Rise is not worth $500. It's not a $500 game. This is not The Last of Us. This is not God of War. Rise can't sell a $500 console. So in the end, what did it came down to? The cheapest console I could play Call of Duty on. Oh, and it so happens to be the better version. That was just the icing. That was just the camel that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. You could say Xbox had the best launch all ever. Cool. But it ain't worth $500. That's like saying you like Rise of Tomb Raider better than Uncharted. But to play Rise of Tomb Raider, you have to buy a $500 console. To play Uncharted, the console costs $250. That changes the game now. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not just the game itself, it's how much you have to pay. It's just how much you have to pay to play the game. And to play Rise for $500, that wasn't it. You understand what I'm saying? That's just the reality. So, and who's next? You brought another good point. Shit, this gen console wasn't worth $400. And you might be right. But the fact that we had 360 and PS3 for so long, you're talking 7 to 8 years, people were just ready to move on and jump on anything by that point. You know what I'm saying? People were tired of the 360 and PS3. They needed to move on. And it just so happened that PlayStation, Sony released the cheapest console. That's really what comes down to it. They released a console for $400. They didn't have the bullshit talk about DRM or no online. People didn't have to worry about trading their games. There was just a lot of things they didn't worry about. It was just a simple console for $400. The 1080p, notice during E3, nobody was talking about power. That shit didn't happen until when the consoles launched and, Digital Foundry was talking about, the game was only 720p. If anything, it wasn't even so much that the PlayStation, let's say when Call of Duty came out in 2013 and it was 1080p on PlayStation and 720p on Xbox, it wasn't even so much that it was 1080p on PlayStation, because believe it or not, most of the hardcore and the console enthusiasts, tech enthusiasts, we were expecting these consoles to do 1080p. That was pretty much like, we thought that was going to happen naturally. We didn't think of anything else. So when Call of Duty through Digital Foundry was shown that it was 720p, that was more like, what the fuck moment. That was like, what the hell is going on? It wasn't so much like PlayStation's doing a 1080p. It was more of, why isn't Xbox doing 1080p? Really, that was it. It was more like, what the hell is going on? What did Microsoft do? What type of console did they create? So it was just a bad image on Xbox One all around. And then they put a $500 price tag on it. So people weren't hyped about Rise, Scream Ride, D12 or D2, even Forza 5, for $500. Those games, they weren't it. That wasn't it. You understand? That's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? That's just the plain situation. Now you don't have that. Let's be honest. Who's here pissed off at PlayStation? Ain't nobody pissed off at PlayStation unless you're a fanboy and you're that or diehard Xbox dude. But PC gamers ain't really pissed off at PlayStation. Even Nintendo gamers aren't really that pissed off at PlayStation for the most part. Only the hardcore fanboys or hardcore Xbox or platform enthusiasts are really against PlayStation. Everybody else generally have a positive opinion of PlayStation. Especially this year, Microsoft helped make PlayStation even look good even more. Because Microsoft kicked off 2017 in a terrible note. Canceling Scalebound, not having a lot of content for the first 6 months, only Halo Wars 2, which nobody really bought. Phantom Dust, Voodoo Vince. All these missteps is making PlayStation look good. And then PlayStation, on top of getting Horizon Zero Dawn, getting quality Japanese exclusives, all the marketing deals was going to push PlayStation sales up. And now Lawbreakers. And then Far Cry 5 marketing rights, which is a surprise. Like Sony's not trying to make, Sony's trying to monopolize everything this holiday. They're trying to monopolize every commercial possible, every advertisement. They're trying to monopolize, you know? So it's not 3 years ago, because the consumers you have now are just the consumers primarily who care about price. They want to buy a console that's affordable. And 9 times out of 10, they gravitate towards the most popular console. Now, again, I'm not trying to convince PlayStation is better than Xbox. I'm not. That's all personal opinion. What you prefer and what you have fun is what you prefer and what you have fun. But this is a business, you know. And console gaming, consoles in general, is no different than any other consumer product. Popularity is a big factor in terms of sales. People want to buy the popular thing. And then you could couple and double down on affordability and somehow tie it to popular games. That's just a formula for success. You know what I'm saying? And because of this popularity, because consumers are constantly buying PS4 over, you know, Xbox and whatever, the third party takes notice. They want in. They want to take advantage of that population. So their product can be successful. That's all that is. That's all it's all about. My man Cryptopic says there are people out there that have fun with 20-inch black dildos. Doesn't mean you have to do the same. Well, I'm not into dildos. So in general, that product doesn't mean shit to me at all. You understand? But if I like a product and it's popular, I look at it. What makes this product so popular? Oh, because you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Oh, shit, you know what? I like to do those things too. I'm going to go for it. That's just the nature of the business. And this is not a new concept. That's how console gaming's always been. It's always been that way. How do you think 360 got popular? Because it became the popular console. It became the popular console because Sony fucked up. Sony tried to sell you a $600 console, and they expect games like Heavenly Sword and Motorstorm and Resistance to push it. They weren't bad games. Hell, I love Heavenly Sword. I think Resistance is a good game. I don't even care about Motorstorm. I'm not into racers. But for some people, they say they were good games. But those games don't sell $600 consoles. And at the time, people weren't interested in a Blu-ray player. So what was the alternate choice? Oh shit, there's an Xbox for $400. Hell, Xbox 360 was available for $300. And they had games like Gears of War. Halo was coming out the next year. They had great third-party support. So that's where people went. And over a time of period, Xbox 360 became the most popular console, which led to other people buying 360s because their friends had 360s because nobody was buying the PS3 because it was $600. It was $500. That's why Sony was so desperate to get the sales down. That's why when Sony created the Slim, they took away backwards compatibility. They took away the card slots that it had. It reduced the USB ports. They took away a lot of features in that console that the OG PS3 had because they had to get the price drop. They had to put it at a price that people were willing to pay for the console for the games that it had. Luckily for Sony, not only were they able to get the price drop down to $300 rather quickly, but they started releasing big killer apps. That's when the Uncharted 2 came out. That's when Infamous came out as a new IP. That's when Demon Souls, which is which is what came out before Dark Souls, that was like a surprise hit. And then Sony just started to flood the market with games, Valkyria Chronicles, and it was just games onslaught. And they were just creating new IPs. They were throwing everything at the kitchen sink, from massive action game, which was called Mag, Little Big Planet Kart, Little Big Planet 1 and 2, PlayStation Battle Royale. They were just doing it all. Whatever they can, whatever they could get. You understand what I'm saying? So this situation here is just bugged out. I'm going to say this, and I'm playing devil's advocate. You can't, I understand some people look at this situation and they're not happy with Phil Spencer, you know, but you can't be hard on the guy. Because number one, he wasn't handed the keys to the kingdom that was fairly organized. You understand what I'm saying? He had to fix what Don Matrick destroyed. And because he got put into a bad situation, he doesn't have the leverage he needs to do what the Xbox community wants him to do. He can't get the marketing rights to Call of Duty. He can't get the marketing rights to Destiny. He can't get the marketing rights to Red Dead. He can't get the marketing rights to Battlefront. He can't, because his console is not the market leader. Those publishers, the publishers of those games, and to be specific, the reason why Sony gets Star Wars Battlefront and Star Wars Battle product is because they have a deal with Disney. Not so much EA, they have a deal with Disney. Because Disney owns Star Wars. You know, so EA has no choice, you know, in this matter when it comes to Star Wars. So it's more of a Disney thing. But the point is, Sony has the leverage because of market. They're the most popular console. They control all the major markets in every region. They're the number one seller in the United States. They're the number one seller in Europe. They're the number one seller in the Middle East. They're the number one seller in Asia. They're in countries Xbox One is not even sold in. Not even sold. And we're not talking like third world Mogadishu. We're talking first world European countries where they don't sell Xbox at all. So really, by default, the only console you can get straight from the store is a PlayStation, unless you're willing to buy it, you know, from another country, which adds the cost to getting the console. So Sony's, you know, PlayStation 4's market penetration is too big, you know, for major third parties to choose Xbox over PlayStation. Chances are, if Xbox has a marketing rights to a third party deal, it's because Sony didn't want it. That's just the reality. And that's not to talk shit. Right? It's not to talk shit about Xbox. It's just a situation. If the situation was reversed, I'll be saying the same exact thing. You know, I'm not going to change and make a bullshit, you know. And I keep it real. Just to go back when PlayStation announced that they were going to start releasing first-party games on PlayStation Now, which is on PC, and people asked me, does that make it multi-plat? I kept it real, and I said, yeah, that makes it multi-plat. If you can play your games on another platform, it's multi-plat. So again, I keep the shit real. I'm not going to lie just to make one product look better. I don't need to. I don't need to convince other people that I prefer PlayStation. That's my business. There's my reasons for that. And you have your reasons to enjoy Xbox, you know? But all I'm saying is this is playing out simply because of how the market is. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to tell you guys. It's not all that surprising that you see games being made for PlayStation 4 and not for Xbox. It isn't because there's a bias or there's hate. Companies are making the decision and they're betting their hedges, you know, they're hedging their bets on the console that controls the market. And that's all that really is. And that's all it will ever be. You know, next gen, maybe the Xbox becomes, you know, the new Xbox becomes the most popular console. You're going to see some of these same situations. But right now, this gen, PlayStation 4 has the ball. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say this. I know everybody likes to tease each other. They like to talk shit, troll, and all that stuff. All right? And that's how we are. Everybody likes to go on the internet and try to antagonize people. That's just the reality of the internet. You know? The fact that you could talk shit and not get punched in the face is the reason why a lot of people talk shit. But I try to keep things simple and honest. And the honest fact is, it's just simply PlayStation controls the market. That's just how it is. Is it a perfect system? Is Sony a perfect company? No. By far, not even close. Are there bad things about Sony or about the PlayStation brand? Yeah, there's some things that people don't like. That, you know, people are still mad that they can't change their name in PSN, or that the network for some people is not as reliable, or Sony has bad customer service, or the controller, you know, dies out. You know, everybody's gonna have issues. The same thing with Xbox. Some people have issues with Xbox. It is what it is. But overall, at the simplistic level, when you look at the market the way it is, PlayStation's in control. Developers are looking at PlayStation for their own personal success. It's not bias. It's not hate towards Xbox. It's just they're just looking out for themselves, and they want to make the best decision for themselves and take advantage of what's going on in the market. That's all that is. Now with Far Cry 5, people, oops, excuse me. You know, for Far Cry 5 made by Ubisoft. Damn, I apologize for that. My mic is messing up here. Ubisoft reported again for like the last 2 years, they've been making the most profit. You know, their games been selling the best. They've been making the most money off the PlayStation 4 platform compared to Xbox. Again, this is not saying Xbox One is a bad platform. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you the numbers. I'm just keeping it real. All right? That's all that is. So they're probably interested in having marketing rights with Sony, and that's why they have it. Now, here's the thing with marketing rights. Marketing rights for Sony, the reason why Sony does it, and I know some people are trying to convince you all that's because Sony's scared, or they're not going to make games no more. No. Sony's taking advantage of the work other people are doing to sell their consoles, along with what Sony's doing themselves. You see, the one thing, you know, the Xbox community or just gamers in general has to learn, you don't have to use just one specific strategy to make your console successful. You can go attack multiple methods and do it at the same time. You can push for first-party IPs, you can push for indies, and you can push for third-party marketing rights and content all at the same time. Because all those things together is what's going to attract a wide net of gamers, you know? And that's all Sony's doing. Sony's trying to cast a wide net of gamers of various taste and income to attract them to their platform. That's all that is. You know? So what does a marketing right truly do? It's not trying to sucker people, you know, that the game is exclusive. And you know what? Sometimes that works, because some people honestly thought games like Destiny was exclusive to PlayStation, because every time they looked on the TV, that's the only commercial they saw was Destiny on PlayStation. So sometimes it works, especially for the casual gamers who are not going to go to IGN or GameSpot or on YouTube to look for information. They just look at a TV and then they base their decision on TV. That does work. But what also works is when a consumer goes inside a store, whether it's Best Buy, Walmart, you know, and they look at a consumer aisle, right, where they sell consoles, and they see a box, right, and the box says Destiny 2 for $250, and it's included with the console. That's really all a consumer needs. They want to play Destiny 2, or they probably want to play Call of Duty, and it's packed in with the console for $250, and boom, that's all a consumer really needs. Because they know the PlayStation is a good product because it's popular. Everybody's talking about it. So they're not really worried about the console itself and what it can do. It's been out for almost 4 years at this point. So they know about it. It's just now is the time for them to pick one up for $250 with the game already in it. And then that's pretty it. That's all they need. You know, Microsoft has a deeper challenge because what they're trying to sell is a Scorpio, which best case scenario is $400, you know. But how are you going to convince people, the masses, not the hardcore, you know, not guys like you who listen to me and listen to YouTube, or the guys who are at E3 paying attention, just the normal average consumer? How do you convince a consumer on the average to buy a Scorpio? Who's going to sell it? Because Microsoft's going to have to do things like kiosks, and they're going to have to rely on a GameStop employee or a Best Buy employee or Walmart employee to sell the Scorpio. But here's the kicker. Some stores has targets on what product to sell. So even though they might have a Scorpio, but because they only have, let's say, only 10 or 20 on the shelf, but they have 100 PlayStation 4s, they probably going to have their employees, hey, kind of push the PlayStation if you can, since we have more in stock as compared to the Scorpio. You know what I mean? So it's not like you can rely on Walmart, because remember, people think Walmart employees, Best Buy employees, or GameStop employees are automatically going to hype Scorpio because it's the most powerful console. That may not be necessarily true. Some stores have certain targets like, hey, we want PlayStation to sell the most because we have the most in stock and we can make the most money out of this product. So start pushing PlayStation 4s, despite the fact that you have a Scorpio on the shelf. You understand what I'm saying? So relying on store people, employees, may not be the key either. To sell the Scorpio, it's a lot of things Microsoft got to do. Between kiosks and commercials and explaining about 4K. Because also you got the people who don't even have 4K TVs that's going to buy consoles. So how do you explain a $400 console to them? Because they're going to be like, well, I don't have 4K. So now you have to get into, downsampling or upsampling, and it will also look good for 1080p because it does this. You're going to have to explain all this technical stuff. When a consumer is looking at an aisle and be like, or I could just get a PlayStation 4 because it has Destiny in the box for $250. And I could that's it. I'm good. So this isn't Sony's desperation or anything like that. It's Sony trying to make sure they put themselves in the best position possible for PlayStation 4 to sell the most. That's it. They want to continue their market dominance and stuff. In my personal opinion, this is going to be the last gen we're going to see mid-gen upgrades. We're not going to see that no more. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to see like the PS5 Pro, and we're not going to see the next Xbox Sagittarius, Project Sagittarius. We're not going to see that no more. Because here's mine. This is the reason why. We're going to start out with the Pro. Let's assume PlayStation 5 comes out in 2020. So let's use that as a date. At what point from now to 2020, when the PlayStation 5 release, does the Pro outsell the PlayStation 4 Slim? At what point? Is the Pro going to outsell the Slim this year? Hell no. Is it going to outsell the Slim in 2018? Doubt it. Is the Pro going to outsell the Slim year by year in 2019? Highly unlikely. By the time the Pro might even come close to even matching PlayStation 4 Slim sales, it'll be 2020 when the PlayStation 5 is out. And then at that point, why would you even buy a Pro? You just go from PlayStation 4 Slim straight to PlayStation 5. So when the PlayStation 5 is out, Sony's going to look back and realize the Slim has been outselling the Pro this whole time. So what was the point of releasing the Pro when people were still buying the Slim anyway? They could have saved the time and money to make even more games, or invest in VR and create a better VR headset or whatever. But the Slim is going to outsell the Pro over the next 2-3 years, up until when the PS5 comes out. And everybody's not going to jump on the Pro. They're going to jump on the 5. The same shit's going to happen with Scorpio. Majority of Xbox gamers and future Xbox gamers will be buying the Xbox One S because it's a cheaper console. And a lot of times they bundle those consoles with 2 or 3 games. So for $250, I think even right now you could get an Xbox for $225 with like a game or 2. So by the time the next Xbox comes out, Microsoft is going to look back. What was the point of the Scorpio? Because by the time the Scorpio even matches Xbox One year-to-year sales, they'll have the new Xbox out, and everybody will jump on that. So they're gonna look back and be like, "What's the point? These mid-gen refreshes aren't gonna push the sales that the Slims are pushing." And by the time they even come close, the new consoles will be out. So in my opinion, this is the last time we're gonna see mid-gen upgrades. They're gonna look back, Sony and Microsoft, they're gonna look at the sales data, and they're gonna see the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. All that money in research design and the constant money they have to spend to manufacture these consoles to push it out into stores just wasn't worth the squeeze. They're gonna realize console gamers generally aren't interested in that. Sure, the hardcore are, the tech enthusiasts will buy them, but that market is too small to sustain this model. You know, the reason why this model works in phones, like iPhone and Galaxy, is because the casuals all jump and get these phones. So these phones sells millions and millions every year. So they have no issues doing this because the casuals, for whatever reason, are attracted to having the latest phone. It's almost like you buy a new phone, you're trying to show the world that you got money. You know what I'm saying? That you have value or something. It's almost like a hot commodity. No one does that with consoles. No one brags about consoles and be like, "Yo, look at me, bro. I bought the Pro. I'm balling, dog." No one does that. But when it comes to phones, phones to me, people who buy phones every year, they're just trying to keep up with the Joneses. And casuals love keeping up with the Joneses. But when it comes to consoles, it's just really buy the most popular console at an affordable price and then just play the games that you like. You see what I'm saying? But that's it, man. So let me know what you think in the comment box. I hope you enjoyed this little live chat. You know what I'm saying? But I hope you learned something. All right. Ultimately, to finish off, it's just simply about the Benjamins. Cliffy B doesn't have anything against Xbox. This is not about being biased or attacking Xbox. He just simply chose the platform that would make him the most money, in his opinion. Now, I think this game will eventually come to Xbox, maybe in a year, because he doesn't have a big studio to support two, um, two console projects. But we'll see. Now, I'm gonna answer one question from Brian Stallberg. Yo, PR, what's your plan for E3 week, brother? I'm gonna do a live stream for the Xbox show, but I won't be able to do one for the PlayStation one because I'll be on a plane going somewhere. So, and then I'll be out for like 3 weeks. So I'll be back. So my last video and live stream and stuff will be June 11th. And then from the 12th on, all the way until July 2nd, I'll be out of pocket. So I'll be off of YouTube for 3 weeks, mostly work related. But I'll be back like July 2nd, 3rd, 4th of July weekend around that time. And I'll definitely catch up on some E3 news and opinions and stuff like that. Maybe I might do some videos on my phone if I have good enough internet. I could do a phone videos and stuff like that. But that's just how the nature of the business and stuff. But I'll definitely do a Xbox, live stream. I'll stream it on this channel and we could sit down, we could bullshit, and we could talk. And I'm hoping Xbox has a great show. But anyway, this is your boy Porter Rock 77. Catch me on my podcast tomorrow, 60 frames no lag, 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you like this video, hit the like button, people. I got 78 people watching. Damn, I think that's a record for me, maybe. And I appreciate it. But hit the like button. If you're new to this channel, subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? I think I'll be able to get Fame 2K and Ran Out Thor. Maybe. I'll see what I could do. It'll be interesting because we definitely need to talk about this Xbox and have this good conversation, all right? Who's next? Fuck my pocket. Yeah, man, you love my shit. You know what I'm saying? Because my shit goes 60 frames, no lag. unless my fucking internet starts doing some bullshit, and then it becomes 30 frames mad lag podcast. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, hey, I appreciate all you for showing up. I hope you enjoyed this video. You know what I'm saying? Retweet it, spread the word, spread the knowledge and stuff like that. All right. But anyway, I appreciate you all for the support. Thank you for growing with me. You understand what I'm saying? Because my channel has been definitely growing. Trying to reach that 1,000 mark. Yeah, and Lawbreakers is 100. Destiny's 144 FPS. Ha, fucking PC master race. But anyway, right now I'm at 986 users. I'm 14 away from 1,000. So show some love, spread them information, man. Help me reach 1,000 and help me break away. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But anyway, I appreciate it, brothers. Thank you all, and enjoy your console, man. If you're an Xbox gamer, enjoy that shit. You know what I'm saying? Buy some games, enjoy that shit, man. Take advantage of this, man. It's a great hobby. We have the best hobby in the world, I think. I don't think there's any other hobby better than this. You know what I'm saying? So enjoy that shit. If you got Switch, enjoy that sucker. And if you got the PlayStation PC, man, just enjoy that gaming, man. Don't worry about the bullshit. Do your bullshit online on Twitter, talk your shit. But when it's time to log off, just log off and get your ass on that console and enjoy that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy that hobby. Anyway, man, you all peace out and stuff like that. All right. Take care, brothers, man. I appreciate you all supporting me. Take care. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. All right. And spread that knowledge. Retweet this shit. Spread it all around. All right. Let the people know that I'm the truth. Let people know that I'm the gamers champ. You know what I'm saying? I'm the champion of the gamers. All right. All right. You take care, brothers and sisters. Peace.